Hi guys, it's Vanessa. I'm here this morning to do a video that is long overdue. It was requested a very long time ago when I put up my request and tag video that I do this. And I actually did record it, but I recorded it with my old webcam and then I never put it up. So I figured I should re-record it and finally do it, and I totally apologize. But this is a request to go over my concealers, all the different concealers that I own, and then to talk about how I apply them. So I have this little bin full of concealers right here, and I only started using concealer maybe a year. At first I was just like, oh, whatever, I don't need it, but now I'm such a concealer believer and I think it makes a world of difference. So I'll start with my lower end concealers first. I'll kind of try to talk about these in the order that I got them. Would be this one, and this is a Physicians Formula one, and it's in the green and the light. And the idea behind this one is that you are supposed to use the green to cancel out any redness, like you put it on your zit or whatever, and then you go over it with the light to cover it up. I think they also recommend that the light is good for under eyes. I also had this in pan form, but I threw it away because I hate the pan form one of this. It is way too drying and it's horrible. I just don't like it at all. So yeah, the consistency of this one is kind of runny. It comes with a doe foot applicator. And I'll just do a swatch of it for you. So this one is okay. I really like the green part of it, but the light I don't like at all. It's a little too light for me, even for, like, you know, under the eye or whatever. I used it for a long time, and maybe it's probably why I didn't like concealer, because for me it was just like, it was okay. I didn't like it. I don't know if I would wholeheartedly recommend this. If you're a lighter skin tone, you might find this useful. I have some friends who are a little bit of a lighter skin tone. I feel like this is too high. Okay. Some friends who are a little bit of a lighter skin tone, and this works for them. So then next I have this stick. Where are you? Here you go. And this is from NYC, and I'm not sure if they make these anymore because I got this in a super sale at Ulta. And it's the concealer slash foundation stick. And this one is in the color warm beige. And this is actually, believe it or not, a good match for me. The consistency is really good because it gives you, you know, it's creamy and gives you time to work with, but it still has a little bit of a give. The coverage is good. It's a little on the pink side, so it works good for under the eyes. I mainly use this, I haven't even sharpened it yet, but like above my eyebrow and then underneath it when I'm starting to get like the stubble from waxing or tweezing my eyebrows. I use it to cover that up mainly, but I have used it under my eyes and for spots in the past. Next, I'm going to talk about these, and they are the NYX As If It's Your Natural Skin Concealer Sticks. I love these. Vital Buzz. She's Vital Buzz now, but she used to be Dominique Chulinda. I remember she recommended these and the pot of them. And I got these at the outlet stores for really cheap. So I have them in two colors, and I don't know if this has a name on it. Okay, I'm not sure that this has a name on it, but this one is more of like, you know, my skin tone color, and you just twist it up. And I really, really, really like this. I used it forever. It's right there. I used it forever, mostly for zits. It's really great. It blends really well. I think that they're really, really underrated product. It's a great concealer. If you're on a budget, I definitely recommend the As If from NYX. And then the other one I have is like a corrector one, and it's yellow. And this is supposed to cancel out like purples or blues. And this is way before, like, when I used to think that this was a good idea for under my eyes, but it's not. But I still do use it on some parts of my face. And then next I will talk about this one. This is the Revlon Color Stay Under Eye SPF 15 in light medium. I use this one. I don't love or hate it. I just hate the application. It's one of these where you twist it up. I tend to not like things that you twist up. The consistency is okay. I just feel like it kind of sinks into all my fine lines. And you can kind of see, I don't know if you can tell, because if I get closer it's just going to be blurry for you. but it sinks into my fine lines a little too much for me. It's not my favorite one, but I do use it because I bought it. Next is the CoverGirl Fresh Complexion in Creamy Natural. This one's pretty light. At first I was like, this is way too light for me, but I've learned to like work with it to brighten under the eyes. I really, really like this one. This is another drugstore one that I completely and totally recommend. It's very comparable to a high-end one that I will show you. But it's right there. It's very creamy, and it gives you a lot of time to work with it. I like it for under the eyes and on my face. The only thing, it doesn't last that long, I will say that. And again, if you have a lot of fine lines like me, since this is so like liquidy, it will kind of sink in there, but there are ways around that. So that's that. And then I have this one. This is the Maybelline Super Stay Concealer 24 Hour, and I have it in light. Looks like this. I got this because I had heard about it from Gina Bina Weena 99, and she said that this was just like pretty much her HG concealer. I don't know if it still is, but at some point it was. And so I tried it, and I love this concealer. It is great. The biggest and only downfall about this concealer is the color range is really crappy. You could get some darker colors, like I've seen them online, but in the stores I normally only see about 3 colors. Like this is called light, and it was the darkest one at my store. So it is right there. It does a really good job of covering up under your eyes, and I think she had said how it just kind of almost like makes like one whole unit under your eye, if you will. Like it's just great coverage, and it stays on forever. My only qualm about this one is that you have to kind of blend fast, because once it sets, it's there and it's not going anywhere. And then last from the drugstore is the Maybelline Dream Mousse Concealer, and I have it in Cream Light 4 to 5. And this one is like a mousse consistency. If you can't tell, I like it a lot. I really like this one because the consistency is pretty perfect. It's like dense but still creamy, if you will. And it gives you like a good time to play with the product, to move it around. I like it for under my eyes and for blemishes, and I think that the coverage as well, and it stays pretty well. My only qualm is if you work it too much, it starts almost like balling up because of the mousse. If you've used any mousse products, you know what I mean. But otherwise, I really, really like this one a lot. And then, I think that's it for, that's it for the low end. So now I'm going to talk about the high end ones. For the high end concealers, the very first kind of concealer thing that I purchased was this Smashbox Photo Op Under Eye Brightener and Illuminator. And this isn't a concealer, it's more of like an under eye brightener and illuminator. But if you're, I guess certain skin tones, you could use it as a concealer. It comes with this like brush applicator, and it's actually very watery and light. There's not much coverage to it, but what it's supposed to do is create like illumination under the eyes to counteract like the darkness under there, and it's supposed to really brighten it up. I used to use this alone when I felt that my under eye circles weren't that bad, and my problem with this was that it really, if I just used it with nothing else, super dried up under my eyes. Like I was getting like dry flaky patches, and I was like, well, what is this? And then I talked to my sister who used to religiously use this, and it was happening to her too. So I'm definitely 100% sure this is the culprit. But now that it didn't work out like that, what I do with this is I use another concealer, and I just kind of top it with this on those days that I really need the extra brightness. Next concealer that I purchased was the MAC Select Moisture Cover in NW25. I really like this concealer a lot. This one's like on its last leg. It comes just like their lip glosses and like a doe foot applicator. I like the color for me. I like the consistency of this. I like everything about this concealer except the staying power. For me personally, it just didn't stay that much. And it, again, almost every concealer that I use sinks into my fine line. So I'm not, I don't hold it too much against it. It's just one of those inevitable things. It's going to be a cream product there. It's going to happen. But that was my one qualm with this one. I like this one for, around my nose for redness and blemishes as well. But again, the staying power wasn't the greatest with this one. Next, I purchased another MAC concealer, and this is the Studio Sculpt Concealer in NW20. And this is what this one looks like. This concealer, I have a very huge love-hate relationship with it. So that's what it looks like. The consistency of it is, it has some give to it. It almost feels like a really creamy paint pot. Like a little bit wetter than a paint pot. It's not that dry, but it's not like the easiest to blend. This is more of a pack it on kind of concealer versus like a blend it out kind of concealer. I really like this concealer for my face, not so much for under my eye. For under my eye, it just looks too heavy under there and like too opaque because I can't blend it out as much as I'd like. For my face, I really like it. I will say when I first started using this, I hated it. And I can't remember who it was. Somebody had said that they used to hate it, and then when they got about halfway through, they started liking it. So I will admit that the more I use it, the better the consistency is and the more I like it. But I'm just still like a love-hate. Like one day I'll use it under my eyes and be like, this is the best thing ever. The next time I do it, I'm like, I hate this product. So I can't recommend it or not recommend it yet. And then lastly, I won't talk too much about these because I have a whole video on them, is the Eve Pearl Dual Salmon Concealer and Treatment. And I have them in, this one is medium tan. And then I have, I think it's light or something. Yeah, light medium. So that's the light medium, and I'll do them side by side. There we go. Light medium, medium tan. I really like this concealer a lot. I use it all the time. I have a whole Eve Pearl review. I'll link it somewhere here, so if you want to know more information about this. What I will say that I didn't say in the review though is this is called the Dual Salmon Concealer and Treatment, and this is really, I think, designed to work under the eye. It's not just salmon in tint, because they all do kind of have like a salmony tint that helps cover up under the eye, but it also has like salmon, as in the fish, like properties in it, like omega-3s and stuff that's going to help treat the appearance of dark, dark under eyes. So dark circles, that's what I was trying to say. So that's another reason why it's more made for under the eye, not like to slap all over your face. But I really like these a lot. So those are my concealers. There's other things that aren't concealers that I do want to talk about that I use with my concealers, and they just have really helped them stay. I'm going to get her name wrong. I love her, but I think it's All My Eyes. I'm going to annotate it because I always get people's usernames wrong. But I had seen her video on this L'Oreal Studio Secrets Professional Magic Perfecting Base, which is like a face primer. And it looks like this, and it's kind of like a moussey, fluffy texture. So she was talking about how she uses this under her eyes, and it really helps her concealer stay. And I've been doing the same thing, and I have found really good results with that. So I like it a lot. So I usually do this, and I'll do the application because I haven't done my concealer yet, so that I could do it on camera. And then my La Mer, the powder in Translucent. This is a face setting powder, but I use it under my eyes. I think it's very finely milled, in my opinion, so I don't have a problem using it under my eyes. And this, even though it is translucent, it has a lot of shimmers and minerals in it that are going to reflect light. So I really like it under the eye. I'm going to try. There's really no way that I can swatch this so that you know what I'm talking about, but maybe if I hold this up, you will see. I don't know, because I have a really bright light and my camera doesn't focus. But maybe you can kind of see that there is like a shimmer to this powder. It's got almost like a pinky, very faint duochrome, since it's intended to be all over the face. And I know a lot of people use the powder flage and they recommend only the powder flage, but for me personally, that product is too much money for something that I can't use anywhere else on my face. So it's just not worth it for me. So now I will show you how I apply it. Oh, wait, I'm kidding. First, we're going to talk about tools that I use to apply it. I only really use 3 tools to apply my under eye concealer. Number 1 is my fingers. I really like this method because it warms up the product. It blends it into the skin really well, and I like that a lot. If my fingers are dirty, I will use this brush from Eco Tools, and it's just like a really flat, dense kind of concealer brush. So it's going to pack on the color the way that your finger would. The only reason your finger is more of an advantage than this is your finger has, you know, your body heats that's going to just help make that concealer even more creamy. But this is also really good to pack on and to get like around the edges of your nose and on zits. And last one that I like to use, depending the concealer and the mood I'm in, is a fluffy brush like this. This is a dense fluffy brush. I got these two in an Eco Tools kit, and the kit was like, it contains a baby kabuki brush, a mini powder brush, and it said a concealer brush and an eyeshadow brush. And I couldn't figure out which was which, so I just used both for concealer because I like them both anyways for concealer. So I don't know which was intended to be the concealer and eyeshadow brush, but if you find that kit, I would even get it just for these two. The blush brush is fantastic, whatever. But back to this. So this I use to just kind of blend it into under my eyes and really sheer it out and blend it out. And that way you could do like a couple thin layers of it versus just packing on like a thick layer of it. So I use this for that. And then I also use, and I didn't bring it with me, so yeah, but I also use like a fluffy, just any old fluffy brush that kind of looks like this to dust the La Mer powder on top. So now I will do the application of it. So the first thing I'm going to do is pick a concealer. I just picked anyone. I'm using my MAC Select Moisture Cover in NW25. So I have done all my other makeup except my concealer so that I could do it for you guys. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is make sure that there's nothing, you know, of like color, eyeshadow, or anything under my eyes. And there isn't. So before all of this, before I do my makeup, before anything, right after I get out the shower, I spritz Fix Plus on my face. And at that time, I put an eye cream on. I have a bunch of different ones. I'm not loyal to a certain one. So any eye cream that works for you is fine. Next, I just take a little bit of the L'Oreal Magic Perfecting Base, and I'm just going to pat it under my eye. I hope you guys can see. And I'm going to rub it out to make sure it gets all over there. And I could just take the excess and put it on my forehead. Okay, so that's all rubbed out. Next, I'm going to take my concealer, and since I only use this on myself, I'm applying it directly from the thing just onto my eye. And I do like a strip, just kind of like that. And then I take my round little fluffy brush from Eco Tools, and I just kind of blend it upwards and out and blend it around, which is here. I'm going to just look at it and make sure that there's nothing uneven, and then go in it with my finger. So I see some areas that I feel are still a little too dark, so I'm going to go back in with my concealer and apply it directly on those areas. And then I'm going to pat it in. And if when you do this patting in method, if you feel that the edges don't look blended in, you can go in with your fluffy brush and just kind of fix them. I also have a little bit of blemishes that I don't want to cover up today, but if I was going to cover them up, I just dab some on, and then I don't use the fluffy brush for that. I just blend it with my finger. So I'm pretty good with the concealer. I'm going to go in with the Smashbox one just to show you guys what I do with it, and I'm going to add a layer of that. I'm just going to do like 3 dots along like the darkest part of the eye, and I'm just going to pat it in. So now we're looking like that. So then lastly, I'm going to wipe this brush that I used, and normally I would use another completely clean brush, but I can't find where I did it, so for sake of the video, I'm just going to wipe this really good on a cloth. And I'm going to go in with my La Mer the powder, and I'm going to get some on. Not too much at all. And I'm going to apply it under my eyes. And then we are done, and hopefully you can see how that looks. The light that I'm in is really bright, so sometimes it makes my concealer look crazy. But that's it. That's all it is. It's pretty simple. It seems a little high maintenance, but doing things like putting the eye cream and the primer and the powder are really what's going to help your concealer stay. My top pick recommendations, if you're going high end and low end, I would say for the high end, I would do either the Eve Pearl or the MAC Select Moisture Cover. I really like those. And for the low end, I would say almost everyone except this one. I really don't like this one. All the other ones are good. If you like the Select Moisture Cover, this is completely directly comparable to it. It's like the exact same thing. This one is going to give you like the longest staying power, so I like that. And I really like this one a lot just for ease of blending and stuff. So that is that, and I hope you guys have a lovely weekend, and I will